stream. See how that's going.
No, I was not nearly ready for that.
That's all right. So if anything goes wrong, we can always make the YouTube stream private. So that's all right. Okay, nothing.
No. You're fine. My stream is not quite ready. I'm still typing stuff to get it going.
That's fine. Saying. That's fine. We're just gonna leave it. I'm just gonna wait with the Twitch stream then until.
No, you're
ready.
Good. Yeah,
are you sure?
I mean, unless you don't want to stream this prime content.
You know what? Content. No one cares. Everything is prime content. In that case, I've now started my stream, so I'm gonna go onto Discord. Okay, so question, if you're only allowed to use AI, does that mean that your chat is not allowed to talk to you then?
They are not allowed to help me, no.
But they I mean, you can't stop them from doing things. So I think it's okay. We're not gonna formally disqualify anyone in this, right? So
no, because then my chat would do that just to get me disqualified.
Exactly.
So, but I mean, I will tell them that I'm not allowed to have chat help. You are allowed to have chat help, which sucks.
I just can't. Or you think they're helpful? Okay, are you new to streaming? All right, let's see. So we are live. We have Caleb and Temporis in the chat. Hello, Caleb and Temporis. How you guys doing? Yeah, I'm waiting for Marek to go live. You tell me when you're ready, Marek, and we'll spin the wheel. But let's get your stream up and running first. I guess you could literally just stream to document this. You could stream my screen on your chat while the wheel is spinning, so your viewers get to see the language choice happen as well. That'd be more fun there.
Yeah, I was just checking before I go live. I was checking that our Discord didn't have anything.
Nah, that's fair enough. So Caleb says interesting choices. So I'm gonna get into what we're doing here in a minute or two, but the choices that we have here are the overlap of programming languages that neither me nor Marek has ever seen before. So that's why we have these choices, right? There were a couple of other languages, but they were completely unsuitable for the task. And the long and short of this, we're going to build a web server that serves to-dos. And we're not going to write the web server from scratch, maybe. And we have about an hour to do this. So this will run for runtime 1 hour. 3 endpoints. And let's list these. Put. So what is put going to do? Is it going to create to-dos? I'm guessing it's just going to update to-dos, right?
Yeah, so I realized that I used HTTP terminology when all I was really saying was like, you can put a to-do in this web server and we'll keep it. But yes.
Get by name and get all. So it should get by name be get by ID instead.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking that we should oh, my chat has already gone into pedantic web dev mode, so they're all just shining their web dev skills, okay? Which means you are going to ignore your chat. I'm clearly going to ignore mine. They all exhibit skill issues this early on in the day.
All right. I'm almost ready to go
these
live.
are the kind of people who will sort of poke their glasses up and go, well, actually, when you start describing RESTful web service, okay, I'm going to stop now. So
I know. So my point was not to make it. We're here to have fun, and so I didn't like go through and describe all of the things. Like, honestly, I don't care if it's a put or the whole idea is, can you learn using the AI as fast as somebody who is just using the documentation? Is it a good tool for that at all? I don't know. We're trying to find out, is it a put? Is it a patch? Is it, like...
There you go. Put or patch. We don't care, right? We could have done this with a post as well. It's completely irrelevant. The point being, can you do this? Well, we're gonna break it down Fun is for nerds.
Okay, I am
Rest does
almost
not
ready.
have to be
I'm
ready
so
for
sorry. I'm late.
Are you good? How's it going?
Oh, I gotta make a announcement, and then
Oh yeah, take
I'm
your
good.
time, man. Take your time.
All right.
Caleb says fun is for nerds. I don't know, man. I mean that seems like, yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this. All right, so we've announced this on Discord. There we go. There we got Twitch open. I think we can get rid of Discord now. We don't need. Whoops! Can't close down the stream. We'll wait for some background music until later. Okay, we need to keep OBS going. I'm gonna keep Discord going over here as well. So I think we're almost good. Although I have accidentally put my YouTube stream in the wrong place. That's my Twitch stream. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, and I got to get the AFK timer.
Actually, can I close this sidebar? I feel like I should be able to. You know what? We can do that. Oh, you know what I could do is I pop that out. And then we're going to move this over here. There we go. Okay. All right. All right. I am live. You're live.
Whoops. That one doesn't look right. Oh, why is this so naff? This is looking pretty bad. Well, that's clearly not right.
Mine looks better than yours.
I believe you. All right. Okay. So that one kind of looks. So we're good with that one. Okay. Right. So are you roughly ready to spin the wheel?
I am. It's weird. Well, give me 1 second.
Yep.
I'm trying to see if my stream is actually functioning. Seems like it is. Okay.
You good?
Okay.
Your stream is good?
I'm good. Okay. So, welcome everyone. Welcome ToggleBits group. It's good to see you all. That's always awkward when I say that on a stream, because like I can't actually see you guys, and then it feels like maybe you should cover your webcam. But it's good to see you all, and welcome to this. So what we wanted to do is we're going and testing artificial intelligences. You know, if you follow me, you know that I hate that term because you know, we're really talking about machine intelligence, and we're testing the advanced statistical analysis that's out there. And one of the things we wanted to do, everybody says that it's great for learning to learn, and that's what we wanted to test. We wanted to test, but you can't unlearn something, as Togglebit has pointed out. And so the best way that I could come up with doing it was get two sufficiently advanced intelligences and pick something they've never touched before. So Toggle and I got together and we went through literally every language that we could find and said, which ones do we not know and which ones aren't R? Because R was going to be not. Yeah. So we did that, and that's what we came up with. D, Crystal, Tickle, and Ballerina. Those are the languages neither of us know, and seem like they're not just an embedded language. So the goal here is to create a web server with 3 endpoints. One where you can put data, a to-do, one where you can get it by its ID, and one where you can get all of the to-dos. And a to-do should have an ID, a name, and completed. We're not persisting it to a database. That's not required. If we have extra time, I suppose that's bonus points. Now, the real kicker here is Togglebit gets to use everything but AI. He cannot. I don't care. Google search. He has to close the little thing if there's trying to give him an AI suggestion.
Oh, what about Duck Assist? Because I wonder if Duck Assist is AI or not. So
that's probably fine. I'll give you that one.
How do I do the thing? Let's see if Duck Assist comes up here. No, you have to.
How do I do the thing?
Enough ropes, anyway. Yeah, okay. So it might be that Duck Assist comes up, but we'll be okay with that one, right? All right.
Oh.
Okay. So let me ask my chat. Is it clear what we're doing, right? Have you understood the premise of what we're doing here today? It's gonna run for an hour after our setup time. Very clear, as you say. Excellent. So this is the thing. We're gonna spin the wheel, pick the language that turns up. Then we're gonna have about 20 minutes to get set up, right? So once we're good, once we're set up, then we will start the countdown, and we can sync this up on Discord. So the first one of us that gets done with the setup can just ping the other one saying I'm done, and then the other one can just go, okay, I'm also done now. Let's start our timers, kind of thing, right?
Hey Toggle, did you see what Temporis sent? He sent a multi-Twitch link. That's actually pretty cool.
I saw that. I wonder if that's what I've seen in the past. I don't know. Johnny says the multi-Twitch thing was not so great.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Tanaka hasn't listened. He never listens though, so that's all right. My back is confused.
Well, it's an option. People don't need to use it. I just was pointing it out. All right. Now, I am going to only use AI, and I'm hoping that I'm going to actually try to just install with AI as well. I'm going to try to get it to tell me how to install stuff as well. Now, I'm going to ditch if I can't get it installed in the 20 minutes. But
yeah, I think tell you what, let's, I mean, okay, maybe 10 minutes. If you haven't if the AI haven't given you instructions in 10 minutes on how to do it, I think just go on the Arch Wiki, okay? That'll be the way to go.
I'm going to try to do it purely with AI, but I will cheat with the install if required.
Yusef asks, do you get points deducted if you submit something broken? And I would say there is no point system, so no, you can't have any points deducted. This is just for fun. All right, we didn't have a formal.
It's for
points
fun.
model.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Well, are you ready for me to spin?
Yeah, go for it.
I had to restrain myself from not spinning in the chat now. Okay, here we go. All right. The language.
I really hope it's not Tickle.
No.
Or Crystal.
Crystal? All right. It is Crystal. Okay. Well, should we do 20-minute countdown from now?
All right.
All right. There we go. Oh, my God. Why is this thing so broken? All right. You know what? I'm going to
I don't know. The developer who created this timer.
He's a right idiot, man. That guy cannot be. I don't know what it is with this thing. I'm going to use my other timer. I'm going to spend the majority of my time on working on another timer. Well, luckily, I already have one, but still.
All right.
Okay, let's see. Where's my file?
How do I install?
You have sensibly started. I'm like, yeah, no, I'll get there. Where's that thing? Where does it get files?
I mean, I only have one website to go to, Togglebit, so like, I'm kind of limited here. All right, I'm gonna substitute Pac-Man for Yay.
Oh man, you're making the big business moves now. I think this will do for me.
Oh, it's literally to install Crystal. It has me install Yay first. What the crap? It's like no to Pac-Man.
Let me see. What do we got here? I can't spell crystal, so I'm good. I think I'm done.
You can't spell crystal. I looked in chat. Actually, chat helped me.
That's all right,
I
man.
cheated.
That's all right.
All right, I do have to ask chat though, whether you were going to be helpful or not. I really don't want your help. We're trying to test the AI here, so if I'm getting stuck on something, you can give me ideas for prompts to use and things like that to leverage the AI. That's acceptable, not code. If you know Crystal. I don't know if any of us know Crystal.
Well, I don't know about my chats, but I would say odds are that they are more likely to want to ruin and sabotage me than they are to help me. So I'm not overly worried about that.
Run over to Togglebits.
And
all right, I think I'm ready.
Help, right? Be as helpful as possible. Right.
Yeah. Be as helpful as possible.
Oh man, when you say yeah, I wanted to follow up with super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Am I allowed to set up Mason? I feel like I should be able to.
You can do whatever you want, I think, for this. All right, I got a timer.
Mason isn't cheating, right?
No, isn't Mason some kind of C++ build tool?
It allows me to do the language server, so I'd have like a language server, right?
Mason? Really? I am super confused. I thought Mason was something very different. I thought it was a build tool.
I don't know. Don't listen to me.
Crystal reports. Oh my God, Russ, that is a blast from the past. Please don't. I'm gonna go through and greet everyone in my stream when you get set up there. Then so we'll start from the top. I'm gonna say hello, Caleb, Temporis, Myback, Gendalf, Voltbit, Joniel, Tanaka, Rithel, El Viejo del Viento. Hola, señor. Yusef. Who else do we got? Rizbus and Russ and Skylar, and I think I've caught up with them. Hey, you're talking about Mason.neovim. It's a plugin rather than the build tool. Okay. Oh, shape. I should probably look for some kind of Vim thing for this thing.
You're sitting there entertaining your chat while I'm actually getting ahead by setting up my NeoVim. So
that was that I did not do well here, didn't I? I should probably sort that out.
Voltbit, Russell, Nighthound. Thanks for joining.
Oh, and I have no. Let's do this thing. Okay, so we can.
I think I actually have it installed. So, we're going to jump into.
All right, so I think we got a Vim set up. I have no idea if I have it set up or not. So let me know. I think I'm done setting up. Let me know when you think you're done setting up. And
I'm just getting into a directory to do it, and then I'm done. I mean, I don't know that I'm done, but like I'd have to start writing code to know. So, let me give you a shout out in Twitch really quickly. All right, so before we get started, if you haven't gone and followed Togglebit, go do that first.
Everyone in my chat, you hear that? You better follow.
That's right. You better go follow. If you're watching Togglebit, you know.
All
right.
Yeah. Okay. So are you feeling good? I'm good to go whenever.
All right. Yeah, I'm good to go. If you're good to go, I'll set this timer.
Yeah. Give us a countdown from 3.
1 hour, right?
Yeah.
All right. Are you 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. This is
All right, guys, I'm gonna try to complete this. Toggle, do we want to mute on Discord so we don't talk into each other's head?
We can do that. Yeah, you know, that's a good point because I was going to sit here and be quiet, and I'm sure that's really good streaming. But should we end the call and then just ping each other after an hour?
Yeah. I'll ping you in about 10 minutes when I'm done. But
okay, sounds good, mate. I'll speak to you in a bit. Cheers.
See ya.
All right, then, everybody. Here we go. We are going to do this thing. Then I should. Get some of you. Well, here's the challenge. If anything is unclear, ask me questions, please. I'm going to build a web server in Crystal. I think there's one already. It's a Crystal web server. Marek is doing this thing, but he's only allowed to use. Oh, look at that. He's only allowed to use a AI thing. So do we know? Okay, so main.cr. Whoops, did not do that. Copy. So obviously this is not indicative of learning anything. Where does the address come from? Let's have a quick look. Concurrent service interact with a handler. Chain responsible for processing each incoming request to use server. You must explicitly import with require. I don't know if there's a okay, bind TCP and then 8080, but there's a comma there. All right, we'll do that. Now I should obviously just run that's a string. I should obviously run through some kind of tutorial, learning, what have you. Let's split this up into there. Okay, now I don't know what this thing is supposed to serve. So let's have a look. This one, okay, this one we just print hello world. All right, so let's go to localhost. 8080. Okay, we got a web server running. So I don't know anything about this language. So this is definitely not how you should learn anything. And I realized the first flaw in this challenge. So we should probably do things like read some kind of template in or what have you. Of context that holds the request to process a web response. We can configure the right to each connection is processed concurrently in a separate fiber and can have multiple subsequent cycles and oh my god, we have to do gamedle as well. Okay, oh man, why didn't I disable these things? All right, this is Lego Batman. Oh, but which one? Okay. Oh, for flip's sake. Done. All right, thank you. Back to this thing. The handler given to a server can simply be a block that receives a web content. What's a block? Whoops, that's not how you spell block. 7 powerful black crystals. Okay, no. Oh, is this going to be an issue with Crystal Lang? Oh my god. Oh, good grief. The stress. Blocks and procs. Methods can accept a block code. You know, what's a main function? Main function in Crystal. I don't know anything about Crystal. Oh shit, I'm not supposed to use duck assist. So Crystal definition, Crystal structure definition, types example. Crystal chemistry. Okay, let's do Crystal Lang main function. Okay. We're not going to be able to go through the entire programming language in 55 minutes and 30 seconds. So this looks very Pythonic, doesn't it? Top level scope. Invokes. Do we have a print? You know what? Maybe we can just quickly go through. Wait a second. This thing has overridden some of my key bindings, so that's super annoying. Oh, what the hell is crystal context? Okay, you know what we're gonna do? We have to take a quick pit stop into Neovim. Let's copy the FT, the tag. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do this. Okay. All right, goodbye, awkward thing. Stop taking over my... oh no, that didn't work. That didn't work at all. Oh, that's string interpolation. Okay, well, that was a bad move. Okay, we'll try that again. I don't want you to do anything with my... Oh, where is the... Where's the damn thing, right? Ugh. I just want to load the... Maybe that's not in there. Shape. Okay. So what is this crystal context thing? What are you doing, right? Crystal show context. Okay, so how can we give precedence to this thing, right? I don't want crystal show context to be involved in anything, okay? You're not... There we go. So let's go into plugin, crystal vim, plus 32... Okay, so don't do that. Okay, so now commentary isn't working either. Oh, okay, you know what? I don't even know how to make comments here. Is that it? No. Octothorpe. Okay, why don't we just do this the old school way then? Okay. Wow, I lost 10 minutes in this thing. So puts is going to be print. Okay, and then we just have to call the function. Is that how it works? Yes, it is. Okay, so we kind of get how this language works then, right? Well, I mean, to some degree. Okay, so we can serve a web request, and this is creating a server. So this is like a closure, maybe. We make a new one, and okay, let's see how this context business works then. Response, print, content type. Okay, so then we know what a block is. Is this yield as well? Okay, that's fine. Let's go back to this thing. Has a next. Why is there an Octothorpe prefixing the next function? Definitely should not be approaching languages like this. We should have had a milder, simpler challenge than this thing. Do var block and gotcha. But I got this, right? Go and interfere with Marek instead, okay? I'm reading the documentation. The handler given to a server can simply be a block that receives a context or It could be an instance of a handler. A handler has a next method forward processing the next handler in the chain. Okay. Response object, binding to sockets, and a server loop. Okay, so we should be able to look at something in here about making a response. Let's have a look at the response then. Okay, these are instance methods. The handler chain receives an instance of context that holds the request to process and a response. Let's quickly look at this thing. So response print, is this just going to be the output then? So this is the context. How do we inspect the context? No implementation or method call found. Okay, so we can't do that. Wow. Setting up the editor would probably have been a smarter thing to do. When you're used to having a strongly typed language, this is a little bit scary. Configure. Okay, so we need to look at the request, right? Can we get a method or something from the request? An IO as a body. When creating a request with a string or bytes, its body will be an IO memory wrapping. We're not gonna do any optimization for this thing. We're just gonna get this thing going, right? So IO body, can we print that? So how do we call a function on this thing? So is it like context.request.body? What does this do? Are you okay? So it's running. Okay, can we do something like puts like that? Ugh. Okay, so that's sketchy. All right, so if we hit this now, nope. Okay, nothing. It didn't output anything, right? Let's try this again. We get that, but nothing is printing. So was it not put S? It is put S. Why is that not working here? Why is that not working here? Okay, we tried to print that back. Nothing. Okay, so we're gonna get an empty response. Is here? Is that it? All right. So clearly I've misunderstood something here, right? Context request body. Don't we have a request? With a holds a request. Do we have to get the request to? Is this a function call? So do we have to do something like context.request.body and then puts lol? Is that it? This is definitely, I am definitely not gonna make any progress here. Because I'm just starting in the middle of nowhere doing this. This is not right. Am I even in the right ballpark with this? Yes, I am. Okay, so I can print this thing. I gotta go back to basics. I gotta figure out how to do something as simple as a function call, right? Let's have a look. Similar to Ruby. Okay. Is there no book? Where's like how do you call functions and shit? Documentation, language reference, standard library API. Okay, let's go to language reference then. Getting started. Language introduction. Okay. Yeah, right. We're gonna have to speed run this in 5 minutes. Okay. Hello. Okay, so we figured that one out. Right. Next, variables. Message equals. Okay, we got it. Easy. What does the P bank do? Similar to purchase, it prints the value to standard output, but also prints the expression in code. All right, similar to Rust debug, maybe. All right. Okay, cool. There we go. Math. All right, we don't need any of that. Forget you, math. Strings. String interpolation. Cool. Got it. Hang on. There are function calls in here, though. Maybe we can get some more information about the function calls. Control flow, we're gonna need that. Simplest type is nil. It has only a single value. Nil represents the absence of an actual value. Remember string index from last lesson? Yeah, sure, if you say so. If the substring doesn't exist, Boolean algebra. Truthiness, control flow. So if, else, all right? Is it if, elif, or unless? Okay. If, else, okay. It's else if. All right, we got it. We're gonna keep that going. We need some kind of documentation for all this stuff. You know what? Let's just do this. If, else if. Was it like else if? All right, there we go. So that's how we write branching code. Oh, I wish I knew what the question mark meant here. Does the question mark mean return if nil, right? Crystal Lang question mark. I think this one will return if nil. Holy, okay. Does a method ends in no, there's no. If many places still live, you might find a method. Food is okay. Yeah, so return nil. Right, we got it. Okay, we figured that out as well. Class, get out of here with that. All right, so we got control flow, comments. Yeah, we figured that out already. Documenting code. No, we don't care about that. What? Why is there? Have I missed something? Okay, loops. While, until. We don't need loops for this thing. Yes, we do. We need a for each. All right, I need to internalize a for each somehow. So let's do that here as well, right? So we're just gonna grab this, and then here we're gonna do a for each kind of thing, right? While counter, which means we need to know how to declare a collection in here. Infinite loops, while true, skipping and breaking. Feels like what I'm doing. Method, no. What is, okay. Crystal Lang arrays. Let's see if there's anything in here, right? Array T. Is array the same as a dynamic list? Okay, ordered integer is a collection of types of T. All right, so we can just, what now? It was right there. And I'm sure there's nothing called a list, right? No, so I'm guessing array is going to be a dynamic sizable thing, right? Because we don't specify the size of this thing anyway, right? So why don't we just make something here, and we're just going to say 1, 2, 3, and then we say, okay, stop helping, chat. I'm not asking you for help. I'm asking you to not help now, okay? So how do we do this? Each product, is there like an each on this thing? Build new each product. The ordered combination of elements taken from each of the array as array. Is it an array? Okay, so array of array. Instance methods. Repetition. Wow, this stuff has some pretty cool things though, right? All right, let's just do Crystal Lang for each iterator T. That looks very rusty. Select. As an example, let's compute the first 3 numbers of a range. Okay, dot each. How does that work? At the end of the call chain, we get back a new iterator. We need to consume it either using each or 2a. Okay, so each. Select. What does that mean? What does that even mean? Okay, so that means return nil. What does the select thing do? Okay. Oh, yeah, all right. It doesn't actually say. There's just implementing an iterator. All right, let's just find. Okay, here we go. Returns an iterator that only returns elements for which the past in block returns a truth. Okay, so it's gonna skip the thing. Maybe we can just skip the whole thing then, right? And that's gonna map a value to something else. But where did my each thing go? Each. So this will get everything where this is even, and that ampersand dot must refer to the element. So maybe list dot each. So if we don't need to do a select, do we have to do a map at all? And then we're gonna get first 2A. We don't. A 2A probably returns an array. 2A. Oh, look at that. There we go. Instance methods. Yeah, 2array. All right, but we want to iterate over all this stuff, right? So val puts val. Is that it? Fiddlesticks. Do we have to do a map here? No, I am missing something else. I went too far. All right, we're done with this iterator. Come on. Where are you? Where are you? All right, I was having a good time with this. Where are you now? Curly brackets. I think. Okay, that changed the syntax. Yes. Okay. Right. And then because we want to be able to do some kind of to-do thing, then we make a class to do done false and then title empty string. Okay. Or in it. I don't know, man. Okay. We need to learn about classes briefly. Crystal Lang classes. Classes and methods, perfect. Class person, end. All right, I forgot to end this. All right, thank you, internet. Okay, new initialize. Okay, so def initialize. Okay, so that's referring to the value. So we just declare. Okay, you create an instance of a class by invoking new on the class. Here, person is an instance of person. We can't do much with the person. So let's add some concepts to it. Wait. No. Hang on. You're skipping a lot in between these two pages, all right? Well, I'm skipping a lot. We can't do much with the person. Let's add some concept to it. A person has a name and an age. In the everything is an object section, we said that an object has a type and responds to some method, which is the only way to interact with objects. So we need both name and age methods. Oh, do we need methods to do anything? So we don't actually operate on variables and everything else. So will this return? Does Crystal have implicit return? All right, let's make an initialize function. So we're not defining anything on the class like this. We're just gonna do okay. Here we can make a. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna to do new val maybe initialize end, and then that is equal to false, and that is equal to init. I think that might work. So let's just try to do dot new. That should not work, right? Because we haven't actually created. What? Okay. Maybe. Def done. That's gonna return done. So okay, I'm on to you, little flipper. And then this thing is gonna be done becomes title. Stop it. I got stupid hands. Stressed stupid hands. Okay, so we figured this out then, right? So how can we make this thing work? So we'll make a new function that takes a value. Let's make this into strings then. Whoops. Okay, so we're gonna map this to a to-do new, and I wonder if we can do something really funky here. Title is how do we? Oh man, I don't even know how to make an argument, right? Okay, that's it, and we have a type. All right, you know what? Title string, and then done is false, and so can we now just do 2A. Oops. I think we're just gonna be super nonsense and just type. Oh, actually, that probably won't show much, but let's try new list. Space required before colon in type restriction. Really? You are my sunshine. Okay. Wrong number of arguments, given one, expected 0. What do you mean expected 0? Do we have to allocate? Do we have to return? Okay, right. We can't do much with persons. As a concept, a person has a name and an age, and everything is an object, blah, blah, blah. Which is only way to interact with objects. So we'll need both name and age method. We'll store this information in instance variables, which are always... Okay, instance variable or prefix with an @ sign. We also want a person to come into existence with a name of our choice and an age of 0. We call the into existence part with a special initialize method, which is normally called a constructor. So so this should be initialized, right? So maybe not a new function then. Maybe I am given 0, expected 1. Okay, so my function call is somehow wrong, but it is to do .new. We'll try initialize there, but I've got a feeling that is not right. Oh, it is. Wait a second. Okay, wrong number of arguments for to do new title. Okay, so it is new. We're supposed to pass in the value, but why would that not? Prologue, get out of there. Okay, let's just try to make a new person here then, right? Oh, I should have bloody well read the line numbers, shouldn't I? If only Temporis would have been here to tell me. No 2A for nil. That's fine. We're gonna map this instead. That's it, okay? So now we should be able to do new list dot each curly bracket, and this is going to be a to do puts t dot. Actually, can we do this on multiple lines? T dot title puts t dot done. close curly bracket. This does not look right to me. But it is right, although not really, because we don't get the right value. So this thing is not doing the right thing. No, it just initializes it. It doesn't give us the value. Okay, now we're gonna guess things. All right. No, that was just complete nonsense. So we're gonna go, I don't know why both of these works. This really throws me. Let's just call the new function without doing this malarkey. So we'll start with a Toodles is to do new yellow, and then Toodles dot title, and then no, I am doing okay. So it might be right, but oh, sheep. Okay. I might be on the right track. Yes, I think I'm good. I think I'm good. So get rid of this. Bring that. Oh, come on. Vim or Crystal. Vim. Crystal. Yes. Okay. So we got our to-dos. Okay. Now we need to figure out how to set this up then. We're supposed to be able to update one. Get by ID. All right, so I want to be able to index into a list then. So let's put new list 1 dot title. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, we're good. Well, half the time is already gone. So how do we update this thing, right? So let's have a function called set done, which does this. We got this, man. Come on. Now we just need to have our HTTP verbs working for this. So can we do a verb like a function? So we start off with an init function here where we're going to create our to-dos, right? So we'll have eat sandwich, make new sandwich, hide sandwich. Okay, and then we're gonna map this. That's gonna be our init. So this thing we want. Oh, you know what? I haven't figured out how to do return types yet. But although I think I know based on what we see there. So let's have a function here that's gonna return 1, 2, 3, and then if we put fun. Yeah, that was a keyword. Ah, shit. I forgot. I started the web server again. All right. Right, we'll add the letter H there. What harm can it do? No. A lot, because I wasn't done. Whoopsie. Okay. Right. So implicit return. Implicit return. That's how this works, right? So that we can have. Whoops, we cannot do that. That we can have. So if we just return new list here, that's gonna be our list. But we need to hold some state, and I wonder if we can have a horrible global. Global to do is init. Is this gonna work? Can we put global to do and see a list? Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can. Right. So, well, hang on. Hang on. Change new list to global to do. And let's not do that. Don't need you anymore. Don't need that anymore. Figure that out. Yes. Okay. Well, global state. Whatever. Okay. Whatever. Now we just need to get this thing working so we can look at the method, right? I want this thing to be up here. And that has to be at the... You know what? No, we cannot do that. I bet you we cannot do that because it's an interpreter language, right? There's no... Well, if we haven't defined a function, we can't do anything with it, right? Okay, so the thing that I'm missing now is how we get the request verb, right? So let's go back to the web server part. Wow, we've certainly gone off on one. Let's get rid of all these things, blah, 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 web. Let's see if there's like an example of this thing. So there's a lot of handlers in here, which makes sense if you're going to build something, but we really want to make our own handler. The handler given a chain can simply be a block that receives context. Oh, hang on. Does it mean that we can have multiple handlers for this thing? So we just have a get all that takes a context. That's going to be a HTTP context. Is this okay? I don't want to start the server yet. I don't know if that's right or not. So when we call new on this thing, what do we actually do here? Can we make our own handler? Constant summary. Handler proc. So there's, okay, so we need like a collection and indexable of handlers. So can we, so what is the handler? Does the handler have to return something? Well, I guess there's no traits or interfaces here, right? So HTTP handler and handler proc. So let's go and look at this thing. It looked a bit like we could do this, right? We just pass in a function pointer, right? The letter H is with us once more. All right, there we go. All right. So this is our server, and when with new, we're gonna do. What do we do here? New nothing. Okay. So we're calling it like a nice classic function, right? And then get all. Wrong number of arguments given your expected one. Is that not it? Okay, maybe we could see what, for instance, the log handler looks like. That's not a function pointer. That takes a call. Okay, maybe a quick read on this thing. I got 20 minutes left. Oh my god. Be an instance of HTTP handler. Okay. All right. So we need to require server handler for this. All right. Then we need to make a custom handler that includes HTTP handler, right? So let's get a class to-do list handler. Include HTTP handler. Am I right? And then a call function. But why are you looking so dumb? I said to myself. And there, right? And then this thing has a context. Does it not? Yeah, but we don't specify the type. So we're just gonna call next context. So can we pass in a to-do list handler new here instead of this? So this get all is just malarkey. To-do list handler new. Okay, now I bungle that one. Okay, HTTP all in uppercase. All right. Now you can't do that. Okay. Now we need to get this thing to do something. Call next. What do you do? You have no return type? Maybe this should not be a handler. Maybe a handler is something that deals with you know what? Why don't we look at this? Crystal Lang example web server. All right, we're gonna ignore duck assist. All right. Crystal Lang explorations. Whoa, we're gonna need some JSON as well. Server. Oh, okay. I just clicked on everything. JSON data. Basic web server. Path. Request.path. Okay. Context request.path. Okay, so we've figured that out. Okay, so this is how we can deal with that. We don't have anything that distinguishes between get and put, but I think we can do that with something else, right? So let's just look at the path for this thing. So we're gonna start with the path. Okay, red herring. Forget that. We're gonna do a travesty and build it all into here instead, right? This thing, I don't think we're gonna do that, right? So request.path. And then we put path is, was it like this? All right, then we have to start the server. Yes, yes it is. Okay, I want to do a substring. How can we do a, can we guess? Is this a substring? We're just writing Rust in there now. Okay. Can we do something like get, okay, if path is equal to all, then all of the TODOs. Else if, all right, yeah, we're gonna get the method. Method? Okay. I forgot how my keyboard works. Okay. Method is get, path is 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let's do a okay, let's try an all. Yes. Okay. Get in. Okay, so we need to say, can we do payload equals nothing to see here? And then here we say payload is equal to all the toodles. And then here we're gonna do payload. So otherwise we're gonna say else if math is equal to put, then do some put nonsense. Otherwise we're gonna do the thing into an integer. Else puts look up a value. Okay. 16 minutes left. Path is all. Path is 1, which means look up value. And then how do we do a post? That's going to be -d. I don't remember. Curl post value. Whoops. Post value. Okay. Close enough. X post and then options. What's the... All right. -d. Okay, and then how do we change the name? So name is equal to... Okay, we just do something like the foolish thing. Okay, nothing to see here, and we're gonna post. How do we read? How do we read the? How do we change a post to a get? Right? No, not a get. A put. Curl put value -x. Okay, so we still want the D in there. Method is put, yeah. Okay, so we need to get a hold of the request body for that. So that's gonna be crystal requests, crystal lang request body. String or byte. Okay, so we can probably do that, make that into JSON, right? Although nothing here states that we have to use JSON, so I don't know why I even think about that, right? We can get rid of that. So let's look at the body then, right? So we'll do body is request, no, context request dot body. Do some put nonsense. Body. Okay, how do we unpack the body? Like string? Was a string, or there's something here? When creating a request with a string or bytes, its body will... I remember having this, and content length have been set appropriate. To use a request, you must implicitly import a HTTP request. Do we have that? No. Request, maybe? Form params. That's a function that returns something. So we can do request dot form params. Is that it? Yes, it is. Okay, now if we're gonna go a little bit wild here, we're gonna index into this thing and we're gonna grab foolish. Oh man, hot reloading is the next thing that we need to have here, right? Whoops, I got a little bit too excited. Yes, okay, right. 12 minutes left. All right, so let's iterate all the toodles, right? So let's do global to do dot each Todd, and then here we're gonna do payload plus equals payload. There we go. Plus equals. Well, it doesn't have to be nice. We're just gonna do Todd dot title pipe Todd dot done. Okay. checking my Discord to see if Marek is done. Shit, the wrong thing. Well, I guess we can just do it here. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. No, shit. We got nothing. There it is. Okay. Actually, it's probably BR, right? Because we're a little bit dated. We can do that. No, why am I not seeing? Oh, yeah, shit. All. Thank you. No, okay, not BR. Really? I am confused, but you know what? It doesn't matter if it's wrong. Or if there you go, right? Look at that. Beauty. Okay, so okie dokie. We go, oh yeah, because we're outputting text, right? All right, got it. We're not outputting HTML. That's why. So we've saw the first one. We can get a list of all, and then let's do by ID then, right? So here we're just gonna do something silly like this. We're gonna say no, not payload. Path, right? And this is gonna be Todd. And then shit. Okay, so we need like a crystal 2 string. Crystal lang string. I think there's gonna be a string and there'd be like a toInt method on here, right? Can we get there? There's probably like a too big D, too big I, to F32, to F64, to F. There's a float to I. I mean, okay, to I16. Who cares? To I16, right? Path to I16. And can we use a question mark there? No. Okay, how do we make an integer out of that, right? Okay, it's supposed to return an int instead. Or is any int okay? All right, fine, we'll look it up. Crystal lang string to int. To I. Okay, to I. Ship. Okay, not in 32 or no. Okay, so fine. Else if can we shadow? Maybe index, right? Maybe index is equal to path to I if index not equals to nil. Bollocks, what do you want from me? Oh yeah, right. We need to use the index. Okay, the next thing we have to do, we got 7 minutes, we have to do an update now. So we're gonna do puts on, well, we need to get the index as well, right? Okay, I think we're done, right? Now, you rubbish. Oh, right. Dot swap. Toggle. Obviously. Right, I think we're done. So we're gonna go to our web server. All right, that's all. Then we can get an individual one. Yes, and now we're gonna swap one around. So where's our put? We're done. All right, 6 minutes to spare. Okay. All right, that was really fun. Okay, I needed that. I needed that. Oh my god. Okay. And Marek's, I bet you that Marek has done, like, gone all out and made a template and all kinds of things, but I have just made the bare minimum. Okay, I've just done the bare minimum. 50-minute language exploration. It was actually quite fun. I don't know anything about this language, but Jonil, I want to say something to you about the approach of languages, right? Once you know how languages in general works, then you know what to look up and how they should work. So learn general purpose programming languages, Jonil. Yeah, I got 5 minutes to spare. I finished on 6 minutes something, right? 6 min-ish to spare. You've also come to that conclusion? Very good. Now, let's have some celebratory tea. I just don't think syntax is like the first thing you learn with a language, right? You learn the basic syntax, how to make functions, loops, control flow, declare variables, whatever record, class, struct, whatever the language has, maybe interfaces or traits or whatever, if that's available, generics if it has that, blah, blah, blah. Then you jump on to the standard library. And I think learning the standard library is probably the more chunky chore of learning a language, right? Classes, objects, and functions. Yeah. Well, objects, Jonil, is just, you know what? If you want to have a terrible metaphor for objects, you can think of them as spreadsheets in Excel, right? Where a field or a value associated with an object is just a cell in the in the sheet, right? But that is obviously just an analogy. You'll figure it out as you go, right? So then you're talking about having multiple instances of that instead. Thank you so much for that, ICS. Thank you. Hello, Dottie. Dottie, did you just join? Did you miss the whole thing? How you doing, Dottie? You safe? I guess we'll never know. We've done 0 error handling. I'm waiting for Marek now. What did you miss? All right, so like this, Dottie. I was approached in a dark alley by a man who said, "Do you want some crystal meth heads?" Marek asked if I wanted to participate in his idea where 2 developers try to do something with a language. One developer is allowed to use AI and only AI, whereas the other developer is going to use anything but AI. So technically, I could have used chat. And Gandalf knows this. Props to you, Gandalf. Knows the language. But I felt like then chat is building it and I'm just touching keys, right? And I didn't want to do that, so I ignored chat as politely as I could. Am I right? Just a sound with either an int or a string. Yeah, exactly, Johnny. That's it. You can definitely think of it like that, right? What is the language? The language is Crystal. So what we did, Doddy, at the beginning of the stream, we put 4 languages in one of those randomizing wheels. 4 languages that neither of us have ever written before. And it was D, Crystal, Tickle, and Ballerina. Those 4 languages. And we ended up with Crystal. Which, honestly, I'm quite happy about it because it was really simple. All right, we're going to dial in Marek here. Hello, buddy.
Hey, Talk.
How did you do?
Well, I didn't get everything that I wanted.
Everything that you wanted, okay.
We tried to slide the database in there. We tried to slide an SQLite database in there last minute. It didn't work.
Really? Well, I did the bare minimum. I have no error handling or anything like that. But the language is actually quite intuitive, so I could guess my way to a lot of things.
I was going with the same. Once you learn some of the base principles, like the question mark operator, you know, it felt kind of like Java and a statically typed, or not Java, but Python and a statically typed language had a baby.
Yeah, it was a little so Pythonic with a white space, but not with the end function. That kind of threw me a little bit. I think it was so I have basically done nothing, and I'm guessing that you have gone all out with templates and everything.
No. Not nearly that bad. Like, I have a to-do struct that that allows you to save to a database, or the database I was trying to get to. I can share my screen.
Yeah,
so your chat can see, and I'll go over what I'm doing or what I've done.
Yeah.
And then maybe you can share your screen and go over what you did.
Yeah. I'll pop it out in a second.
All right, let's do. I don't know how this is going to go with me streaming and doing this. Let's hope I don't drop frames.
Let me see. Where's the pop out? There's the pop out button. And then I want to hide the participants. Float the window. All right. There we go. Okay.
All right. So this code isn't perfectly running. I do have.
No, what happened? Did you...
What are you doing? No. Did it crash?
Maybe.
Oh no, you're still working, but I don't know why it reloaded on me. Am I streaming my desktop still?
I'm not seeing anything.
No. So it crashed and then jumped me back into it. Let me try to share my screen one more time. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna try some lower resolution.
So how many minutes did you have left when you'd finished the task, though? When you could do the bare minimum, which is what I've gone for.
The bare minimum. Probably you had said 6 minutes left. I was probably close. I think I had 9 minutes when I decided to start adding the database.
Volbit says you have about 15 minutes left. Very good.
Let's see. Okay, I'm going to share my whole screen. 1080p, 15 frame rate. There. Hopefully that doesn't crash on us. Can you see my screen?
All right. Yeah. All right. Here we go.
All right. So, as I was saying here, I have it running in a working state. We tested it with this.
You set up Postman as well? I just went with curl and Firefox. You are too prepared for this.
Okay, so we can get by ID. So like this is getting by ID. Our first task was to learn Crystal, and we used Camel. And then our second task was to leave Togglebit in my dust. We can also do to-dos, which get all of them like this. So this gets us a list of them. We can also post to the to-dos with a body here with 3 sweet victory, and send that. And yeah. Wait. That's 404 not found. To do. There we go. Message to do created. Okay.
Oh my God. You are returning 200 as your status code?
Okay. You know what?
Oh my God.
Did it go through code review yet? Okay.
Did it until now? I'm kidding, mate. I'm kidding.
Okay, and it's a post. We probably should have been a put, but post seemed easier to me, so we did that.
Post is fine.
This is the code as it exists now. Like I said, it's not compiling because I was trying to add SQLite 3 to the database. It added quite a bit more complexity. So we have this to-do struct, and I know somebody's gonna flip out because I added. This is how the AI wanted to do it, but I added the database functions to the actual to-do struct methods.
Well, I mean, so this is this is pretty good, and like the question mark operator that would return either false or nil, right? To my understanding, do you know if it does that? Do you know how
the question mark
works?
operator? Well, inside of a select statement like this is a SQL
no,
query.
I'm talking about the return types. On line 33, you have to do question mark.
Oh, right. This you either returns a to do or nil.
Could a question mark also return false if it's a bool value they return? Guess the AI didn't tell you that, did it?
I was gonna say.
Actually, let's see what the answer is. Ask it.
What types can this return? This line return. Either to do instance or nil.
Ask it if a question mark can be used to return false in a function that returns a bool. No. Okay, then. Wait, for example, bool represents a type that can be true, false, or nil rather than returning false. Okay, really? If you want the method to return false by default and the intended result isn't found, you can explicitly handle this rather than relying on a question mark. And then we get and then it does this with an or at the end. So or can be nil or not. Okay, gotcha.
Now, don't take this for gospel because it generated bad code almost every single time. Crystal, it was not its best generation. Like, even to the fact, if we go up to the very beginning, the very first thing that it did had this at next ID. And then I was like, this doesn't work, this JSON mapping. And it's like, well, of course it doesn't work. Crystal removed that. And I was like,
here's how you do it. Oh. It doesn't work. Well, of course it doesn't work.
right. I was like, 1 second. There was some other problems, but where was that? It was. I can find it, but yeah, it was basically like, yeah, of course that doesn't work. Just.
Are you?
Oh, yeah. The error you're encountering usually occurs because JSON mapping was removed in more recent versions of Crystal. And I love how it blames me. It's like, this error was you can manually. So like it was like, it wasn't my code. It was the code you gave me right here.
it really went ham with that stuff. So, did you? What does your web server look like?
So this is the web server. So we currently wrap it in this DB do. So
Oh.
before I tried to do the DB, it was just this, and these were the camel. What was it called?
Kamal, was it?
Kamal. Yeah, Kamal.
What is Kamal?
That's the library. I don't know. That's just the one it recommended.
Is that like the web server library or what?
Yeah, that's a web server library.
Oh, so how did you use a third party library then?
I just so that is in so that is just in your when you generated your project, it generated this shard YAML, and this is how you do dependencies in it.
Okay. I had no idea. Oh man, I built everything with a standard library because it was all there. I was like, yeah, standard library, bam, let's do it, man. Easy. Oh man. Oh wow.
Okay, so I use libraries.
Probably the
basically
sensible
all
way
you
to
do
do
is you
this.
make a function with what you want here as the comment, and then you tell it that to do it as post. And the only thing that you have to do at the end is do Camel run, and it hosts these at these paths, these functions at these paths.
Wait a second. Hang on. This actually looks like a function invocation. So delete on line 96. That's actually invoking a function somewhere, right? It's not defining a function.
This function gets a function. Like this is a function that you're passing to this function.
Oh, it has like ID. It has extractors, like not query string, but like path extractors for the ID. Very web frameworky.
Yeah, and that works.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's part of Camel that does that.
Yeah.
I'm
guessing too. I was just going really fast, so don't ask me too many questions about it.
I think for this experiment that you are probably better off than I am when it comes to this stuff. As in, you got the job done. So did I, but I don't think either of us know Crystal at this point. So
No.
It's funny though. So can you scroll up a little bit to where these functions begin to be invoked, right? So we have a little bit more up. I'm just trying to figure out. So we have the DB open, and then like where does the post function come from?
I don't know.
Is Camel? Does it mean that when we import a module, we import everything in that module? So how do we deal with things like collisions in namespaces and stuff, right? That's interesting.
You probably just fully qualify it with its module name beforehand, just like like you would within C# with like a namespace. That would be my guess. I'm just guessing.
Interesting.
But that's another thing that I learned with this. Going into this without anything, I don't know that it would be the same with a new developer because there's so much, I have so many years of knowledge of doing with these things. Like when I saw the question mark operator, I kind of guessed what it was. And like I could leverage some of these things. I typed and dealt with some of these things without needing to like fully understand computer science or go back to the basics or anything.
Oh, I see. We have ternary operator there as well, right?
Yeah.
I have done no error handling whatsoever. It's
I have error handling on all of it.
And do you like? Did you load templates as well, or are you just you're just piping out JSON?
No, just piping out JSON. Yeah.
All right, very good. Because I just went with plain text, so I don't have to deal with that.
Okay, are you going to share your screen so we can see yours?
Yeah. Let's do it. All right, let me see. Maybe I should share my window instead of my head, or let's see.
Yeah, nobody wants to see that.
Nobody needs to see that. Okay, I think this is the window. Are you seeing my code here?
Yeah. Let me get it
Oh, you know
into a
what?
pop
Hang on.
out.
If I don't share my window, you won't see my browser output really. But okay.
That's
Well, I
fine.
guess maybe we can do most of the stuff in here then, right? So, whoops. I just bungled everything there. 1 second. And we can resize. And then of course, as I started streaming, someone insisted that I do a game doll as well. So we did take a break to do that. Okay, let's go through this thing, right? So we have these require statements up here because this is how we load up the modules that we're gonna use. But you figure this out with Camel and SQLite and everything, right? Then we're gonna initialize a list of to-dos, and we're gonna look at these things shortly, right? But we're getting the list of titles that we're mapping to a to-do. I tried to go to definition. That actually worked for once. And we just have this.
What did you use? What did you use for the code? We couldn't get static or code highlighting at all.
I just went online and searched for Crystal Vim, and this is it, right? This was what I found. So it's just let me see if I have it there. Vim-crystal. Crystal. Whoops. Let me see if that's
all right. Well, yeah, I couldn't get it to work, and it sucked.
Yeah, that I bet. So I was messing around in the beginning with some of the stuff, trying to, because it overrides my comments, my code to comments. So it puts crystal show context when I'm supposed to use commentary. So that was a bit of a curveball that threw me a bit.
Okay, so I was using one called Crystallize, and it kept deleting the code that I would write, and so I had to get rid of it.
If you were to make a functional programming language based on this, wouldn't you have to call it Crystal Meth then for the methods? I'm just thinking. Okay, back to reality. So yeah, we figured out init here. I figured out how to make lists reasonably simple. This thing threw me a little bit how to iterate over a list because there's no for loop per se. Instead, it looks a little bit like the Rust map with the closure of the value. And I never checked if we can do this or not, but I want to have a look at that. And then 2A, it has quite a few of these things. 2A, 2I.
2A, 2S.
Yeah, so to array, to integer. And this is one of those trade-offs. It's confusing when you're new to it, but once you've seen it and you use it a lot, then I think being succinct is probably quite nice in some regard. Implicit return, right? That's great. And of course, we do a global...
Wait, were you saying that's great?
Implicit return is great. I love implicit return. I just wish I could specify. You hate implicit return?
I actually hate implicit return with a passion. It's like one of my top features of Rust that I hate that all of the parsers, you know how in Rust you can be explicit, but like everything will be like, oh, you should be implicit return here.
I honestly, I've only seen two people not liking implicit return, you and the Primogen, who after, I don't know how much Rust he wrote, but he just refused to use implicit return, even though every library out there, every sensible Rust developer out there were using implicit return. He just refused to do it. But this, to me, this was great. I loved implicit return. It just makes sense to me. So, so Rust, you're gonna be fine with it. Global state, because why not, right? We're running this as one person using this thing. I struggled a little bit with defining the class and getting all this stuff going. So I just have a toggle function to toggle between set and not set, right?
Of course, you would have a toggle function.
I should have a toggle function. I almost named it something else, and then I caught myself like, no, we can't do that, right? This is our super janky, ropey web server where we're just gonna get the path. This thing, I guessed that we could do indexing like this because you can do it in Rust. These guys are inspired by Ruby. I bet you can do this in Ruby as well. So it was reasonably fun and simple to figure out some of these things. I do think that there are no fields on classes that the way to access a field has to go through a function, and the way you refer to an instance is with the @ sign, but I'm not sure on that one. I'm definitely not sure on that one. Start off with, and this is like stream of consciousness programming. This is like programming when you're new with all the if else. There's no error handling. We're just printing all this stuff out, right? So if we go and curl, if we curl all, whoops, I have to probably start that before we can do that. We're just gonna get a list of these items, and if I want to get a single item, we can just give it an index. And if I want to update this thing, then we're just gonna put an update to this thing, get it again, is now set to true. Very, very simple. This is literally the simplest thing ever. We basically, I did the bare minimum to get this to work, right? And I had to do this though. I had to do a nil check, otherwise I wasn't allowed to index into the global, so I could call the toggle function, right? So that made the code a bit more verbose, and I'm thinking if it would have been nice if I could have mapped nil to some kind of response thing, maybe. But
could you have done path dot to_i dot not underscore nil?
Maybe that would have worked.
Oh, yeah. Interesting.
I think that might have. You know what? We just try it out here, right? So we do this or 0, and then if we do this and it compiles, then we're good. Yeah, we're good. So
nice.
This means that we can just curl that one, and if we do hello there, internal 500 internal server, and then we get like invalid int. So wait, why is that? Where is that even failing?
How did it get? What did you do?
I wonder now here. So okay, this thing fails, but does it break the web server? It does not. It just prints out the server error. So that I guess that's fine, because it's gonna go to 0 anyway, right? No, we get a 500 server error if we did that. That's interesting. But okay, I mean, if we do this, it won't compile, because this thing is now either integer or nil. So if we try to compile this thing, it won't compile, right? It shouldn't.
Yeah. But I do think that you could do so. Something I learned is this not nil exclamation point. So on your path dot to_i, type period not underscore nil,
like that,
and exclamation point.
What is
now
the
run that? That will work.
It still gives me a invalid.
Oh yeah. But I mean, it should work as far as like compiling. You're saying it's never going to be nil.
This thing didn't look like it would compile because it gave me a different type, but now it seemed to compile. So I'm a little bit unsure about this thing. So this nil check here can possibly go away, even though I had to have it in the past. Hey, I mean, it's doing its thing, so less stuff there, right? But this is in essence the entire web server, right? It is so simple. We just index into a global list, and we toggle their list, or we just fetch the list, and the output is just plain text. We got a little bit of logging. And I think that's it, right? As far as this goes, then we just do server listen. It's all done with the standard library, and it's all pretty simplistic. But I don't think I know this language any more than you. I don't think I have any like deeper insight into this thing. I mean, I can do the basics. I can declare functions and classes and iterate over collections and do control flow, right?
I actually think that you understand it a little bit better than I do. I think that I did a little bit more, but I think you understand. Like, so when you were talking about a class and how to initialize a class, that's actually something I never had to touch. So like I did more with like functions and stuff and some very specific things like the question mark operator and whatnot. But like, as far as this was kind of just taken care of for me. And I never really had to deal with it.
I guess you can look at these different solutions. This what I have on my screen here is a very beginner's solution, especially the way like all of this is done, the if-else monarchy. And honestly, I didn't actually think I was gonna get there in time, but and looking at your solution is very much, it looks like the solution of someone who does web development with Crystal. So I guess you kind of get more of a, this is closer to what production Crystal could be, and we get more, this is the Fisher Price Crystal that I have here, right? I think that's a little bit more how it
Yeah, but I
works,
also
right?
think I guess that was kind of my point, because the Fisher Price crystal is kind of where you learn some of those base principles, where I kind of skipped some of the base principles. Like, I'm in here making properties. You didn't even make a property on your class.
I didn't know you could have properties.
Right. And I'm in here making properties, and I think we would have to do a longer term test of this, but I also think, just from yours and mine, like, I think what would be really interesting is to have junior engineers do this same test, because I feel like both you and I were like, oh yeah, we could just infer this and just run with it. So it was less of how well the thing taught us quickly, as of like how fast you and I just inferred different things. Like,
I think one of the, oh, hang on, your mic is hot, but I'm not hearing you.
my mic is hot.
There you go. Okay, now we're good, right? So what I think, like one of the fundamental things that neither of us got was, we have no idea what not to do. Like, we don't know what the best practices and worst practices are, right? I mean, other than generic programming, I can say that this if-else chain is, or this if-else malarkey is just gross, right? There's no way anyone wants to read code like this if the body of each condition would have had, or if each branch would have had more than 2-3 lines of code, right? It'd be disgusting to read that, right? So having functions in here probably would have made a lot more sense. So I probably should have had a function for each one of these and then build some abstractions around it. But so like best practices, we are both missing out on that. And I think from the perspective of someone who's watching this thing, they'll probably look, I mean, if they see the solutions, they'll probably look at them as, your solution looks more authentic, like this looks more like Crystal Pro. If you wanted to pretend to know Crystal, your solution is gonna sell that a lot better than my solution is gonna sell that. So I don't know, right? I don't know. Also, a thought I had was, if you were to do this with someone who doesn't have any experience with server programming or web development or anything like that, they probably would have struggled a lot more, because there's a bunch of other concepts in there. Like knowing, as someone who's done this before, I know about path, I know about method. I think I guessed the method. Or not, I don't remember. But like, there's a lot of things that that you could kind of guess your way to, because you know about this stuff, you know about status codes, and you know about path, you know about query strings. If you would have done this with someone who had no background in that, then this challenge would have been a lot more difficult, I think. Right? So there is a lot to be said about that as well. Let me see.
No.
What's happening?
No, you're good. I just don't think that my chat could hear you.
Really?
Nobody told me.
Oh. Well, they can. I mean, I think this was fun. We can do this again. We should probably like do something better with the how we sort of combine audio and video and stuff in going forward. Like the retro of the challenge, right? A retrospective of the challenge. So what would you have thought if we did this with a completely different topic, right? Not web development. I don't know what else we could have taken as a challenge to do this. Maybe it would have been fun to do this with a game engine that neither of us had ever used, and then try to make something. But in 1 hour, the only thing I'm going to develop is an ulcer. So I don't know.
Well, we could do we could do a longer one that's just a Saturday. I could get up a bit early, you could stay up a bit late, and we could do like a 4 hour.
Do you know what late means in my book? One of my viewers, Tanaka, is always on my case about this because I go to bed at like 8, 9 o'clock. So late to me, that's like 10 p.m. is late. But
Wait, what time is it right now for you?
Right now it's 5-ish.
Yeah. So no, this is fine. Like, because we could do like 9 a.m. my time, which is like 3 hours ago, till like 1 or 2.
That works for me. The time at first when I looked at the timing, I was like, I thought you said 9:30 p.m.
Oh,
and I was
no.
like, well, that's like 1, 2 in the morning for me, isn't it? I've been dead a few hours by then. But this works, right?
Yeah, so we could do this another Saturday and do a little bit longer one and do a game dev would be fun. Have you ever used Bevy?
So the rules we had for this was a language that neither of us had ever touched, right? I have opened Bevy on stream, but I haven't really done anything. I would not qualify myself as someone who knows Bevy. And at the same time, I don't think that I could figure out the innards of Bevy in a sensible amount of time. So Bevy would be, or have you done anything with Bevy?
No, I haven't. And I was thinking if we keep the project to a really simple, we wouldn't need to like know the internals, like move a dot on the screen or something. I don't know.
Temporis is suggesting make Pong in Bevy without reading the Pong tutorial. I think that Pong in Bevy is such a small program that and sufficiently large enough AI can probably just output the entire program in one thing. I think we should do.
You would think that, but our little thing, I thought possibly I would be done in the first thing, and like it just had so many problems. Like there was so many things to go fix. Like the code didn't work immediately.
Londo says Tetris. I think the important thing, maybe we shouldn't even debate this thing, because I think what made this really fun was we can. So those of you who are watching this who didn't know this beforehand, we were supposed to do this with the Pony language, right? I got a text from Marek.
I'll be right back. Today. You keep talking.
And so I got a text from Marek earlier today, and he basically included this thing, and here it said it should be written in Pony, right? I never used the Pony language before, and just before we're gonna get started, I couldn't find a way to install Pony on Arch Linux, right? Other than compiling it from scratch, and I had no idea how long that was gonna take to set up, and I had no idea how long it would take to compile it. So I said, okay, let's do something else. So last minute, we just looked at all the languages that was on the list of languages on the Arch wiki, because we both use Arch, by the way. And then we did the randomizer of that. We picked 4 languages that neither of us had used. There was Crystal, D, Tickle, and Ballerina. We also had a bunch of other languages on there, but a quick inspection, some of them were just MATLAB/R clones, and it wasn't gonna work for this thing. We had Vala on there, but we took it off because I have seen Vala a little bit when I poked around with Elementary OS, so we kind of just got rid of that one, right? So yeah, I think it was fun to kind of come up with the language just before we started the stream. So it's not really important that neither of us have ever seen or done anything with the language. This is all for fun, but it gave it a sense of this is really entirely unexpected language choice that we're using here. And I gotta say, I'm actually quite happy with the language. The language felt nice to use. It was pretty intuitive to some degree, and I could actually see myself picking up Crystal at some point if I ever felt like I didn't want to program Rust because, reasons. I don't know.
Really? You think that? I'm not a huge fan of the white space as a language
I think
construct.
whitespace makes it very succinct and very easy to digest a lot of the code. And this is one of those typical languages where its battery is included in the standard library, right? This is what Rust must never be, because you have so much stuff that they have to maintain, but then we just get a web server baked into the language. So it's just like, off we go, right?
Yeah, it feels much more like Ruby in that case, where Ruby seems to be a batteries included language.
The only thing that I don't understand is why this language has end, because there is no way that you can do it. You can't indent any of this code. I'm guessing that would break it. So I don't know why we have a begin and end at this thing, right? I wanna so. Maybe Bevy would be cool, but Bevy is like really it's a really long compile time setup to do it. It's not set up on my machine for hot reloading or for like dynamic loading and anything. So I think maybe not Bevy, but maybe we should do what we did today and just add the stuff just before we stream, right?
I'm good with that.
I think
I'll spin a wheel and stream that.
And we'll do it on the same premise. That's something that neither of us has never done before, right? So we have to find some. It has to be a little bit of a niche, right? Because we both have probably, dipped our toes in game development, web development. I mean, the only stuff that I haven't done is like device drivers and kernel dev, and I don't think we're gonna do that on stream, right?
That would not be a fun stream.
It would not be. The other thing is I ignored my chat in this case, and I did so just because I think there were people in my chat who were probably quite skilled at Crystal, and they would have just ended up programming this through chat for me. And so I just ignored chat and just went nuts with the whole thing. But the really fun thing, the one that I really enjoyed here was that I finished with 6 minutes to spare. So your 1 hour guesstimate was actually really good. If we would have had an hour and a half, then it wouldn't have been the same stress factor on there, and it wouldn't have had the same entertainment value, I think.
I was gonna say I wanted it to be fast enough where like there was stress to get something done. But like it was a simple task too for experienced engineers. Like you've done this a million times in 12 languages by this time.
Yeah, absolutely. So
13 languages now.
I think maybe what we should do is come up with a couple of different language challenges, and then we can do this now and then where we randomize the language and the challenge, right? That could be a fun thing to do, just to constantly poke at other languages. And I wouldn't be against a functional programming language. And to give some context to this, to my chat and to anyone who's listening on your stream, if they can hear me, I said no to functional programming languages because I've only looked at like 2 or 3 of them. So Elm and Gleam. I tried to run OCaml, and I've poked at Haskell, and I was headbutted by Lisp. But in reality, if we would have picked a functional programming language, I think, other than Gleam, I don't think I would have made any progress. And I like the more well-known ones I have somewhat been exposed to, right? So, but I'm not averse to adding functional programming languages in there in the future, right? So people are saying we should do Rock. And I have opened the website on stream and looked at the syntax and read something about it, but I have never really looked at documentation for it. So I would say I'm pretty much a Rock virgin when it comes down to it. So I'll be okay with Rock. ICS.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
No, yeah.
Statement.
That's entirely up to you, right? But I think we should do something off stream where we just catch up and figure these things out, because I think there could be some fun to be had here.
Yeah, I feel like this is a fun thing to do every once in a while. And you know what? Also, like I like touching other languages because you learn different things. It makes you think in different ways. And the different challenges do too, because, like too often am I doing some like SaaS-based thing, because that's what I do for my day job, that I don't do other types of things as well. So I like do a game dev or a device driver or...
I think we'll skip the device driver because it's gonna be really hard to actually bring any entertainment value out of it. Be like, what does this do? And then 2 hours later, the computer still won't start because you broke something. We're not using emulators though, right? The chat knows we're doing this on bare metal if we're doing device drivers, right? So we have to.
Oh yeah,
we have
absolutely.
to buy some obscure piece of hardware from AliExpress or whatever with no device drivers and then try to get it to work, right?
We were just going to use our cars, you know, that was going to be the thing.
Oh, you have a car. Oh man, posh you are. I just got horse and trap, man. It's just I'm doing this Amish style when I go somewhere.
I live in the United States. If I didn't have a car,
yeah,
I wouldn't be going
true.
Anywhere.
Well, I mean, I don't go anywhere. It doesn't matter if I have a car or not, right? So going outside doesn't lead to anything good. No, but this was fun. It was a good challenge, and I'll be up for doing something like this again. Danaka is asking what happened to my car, and my Danaka, my old Toyota Corolla died. So it was moments, like a week or two after my wife bought her car, my car died, and my wife commutes, and sharing is not caring. So no car for me. Okay, well, this was pretty fun. Let's do a catch up on Discord after this thing. I'm going to go and see to my animal now and feed it some food. And if your stream can hear me, cheers everyone, and I'll catch you guys later.
See you, Toggle. Thank you so much for joining.
Cheers, bye. I think I might have actually said bye while I was hanging up. Anyway, thank you all for watching this. It was a short stream. It was really fun. 2 hours of nonsense. You can catch the VOD on YouTube. All right, and I will be back tomorrow with a stream.